Hello everyone, it's Patty. Welcome to my channel and welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm so happy that you're here and that you're watching, and I know you care about Summer Wells. I've been following this really good Facebook group, Summer Wells Vanishing Tennessee, and I really enjoy that Facebook group, and they put the funniest photos out that they do on there. But it's a good group, so if you're on Facebook and you like to do that, and you like to keep updates or whatever with Summer Wells, you can join the Facebook group. This is a snowman I made. I used 2 mop heads, like dusters from the Dollar Tree, and then the head from Dollar Tree. So yeah, I made that little snowman, and I have to have this little tiny tree this year because my dog is a puppy, and he will not leave things alone. But I thought for a little change, I'd bring you guys out here to my kitchen table and my kitchen so you can see all my little lights that I have up. I need the lights. I love the lights at Christmas, don't you? I don't know, they make me feel nostalgic. They make me have memories. They make me feel warm and happy and whatever. So yeah, I thought I'd give you a little different view tonight. But anyways, you guys, I thought Chris did an exceptional video the other night with that Dr. Gary, I think his name was. Hold on. I'm gonna, I want to play you just a little section of this. You know, Chris just put this video out, and I feel this is an excellent video. If you've not subscribed to the interview room, Chris McDonough, please do. He has covered a lot on the Summer Wells case. He is a good guy, and he's a retired detective, and he puts out great videos, and he has quite a bit of content on his channel. So this is a shout out to the interview room, and I'm just going to use a small portion of his video. I recommend that you go watch this video. I think it's very good, and I think it's important to hear what this Dr. Gary Bruchetto has to say. Okay, so I was watching this the other night, and like I said, I thought this was an excellent video, but there was a couple parts on here that I'm like, oh my God, I think that's what this is, you guys. I think that this is what they did, and I think that's why everything makes sense, why they're doing what they're doing. And you might have caught this already, but I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention because I think this is exactly what they're doing, and I want to talk about it in a minute. So listen to this, okay? Just listen here for a minute.
People who are familiar with me and my work know that I coined the term elimination murder.
I can't get his face.
Right, and that was my term for where an individual has a motive for eliminating a person, usually an intimate, because they are a witness to something. They're an impediment to a financial windfall. They're an impediment to a romance, whatever. They have to eliminate the person, and they come up with these ridiculous cover stories that don't add up because the people who do these things don't tend to be particularly sophisticated. And one of the really interesting things about contemporary elimination murders, when I've studied them, is that when people concoct these ridiculous stories, they tend to use to take advantage of things that will have timestamps.
You hear that?
Like TikTok videos.
Yep.
So
She's
the
got him.
idea is that you can say, well, I can show you where I was. Look at the time on the look where we were at this, whatever. And so when people come up with those stories, and I cannot say, of course, that that's what's going on here. I'm simply saying, as food for thought, that when people come up with they concoct stories like that, there's a lot of that, like, it was 12:01 when I called the police and requested an ambulance, and there's a timestamp. I was I know, and they'll always say, well, I can prove I was there because, there's a camera on the corner of such and such, and it's such an immediate thought that you think, is that why you did it on that corner? Because you knew there was a camera that would prove your location? Because you knew that having, so that I always get kind of interested in people that do these things where a portion of their whereabouts are on tape or whatever because they happen to be using the technology or something that's going to record that. And that they point that out to you is fascinating to me. But I just put that out there as an interesting food for thought. I mean, doesn't that occur to you as interesting?
Absolutely, and in fact, the both parties, unfortunately, have projected those types of, timelines, i.e., I was at this place at a certain time, yada yada, and what's the old saying, right? Go ask the blind man; he saw it, right? We used
Okay,
to.
hold on.
We used to.
You guys, I think that's exactly what they're doing. I think that's exactly, I've said it all along, that I believe that this was pre-planned, that this was planned out from the beginning. That's why Don took the vehicle. That's why, she took videos of everything. And, she's got time stamps, and she was on Facebook and TikTok and all this stuff, right? And I do think that's what she's doing here. It's important for her to have these time stamps because she's playing something. So let me just move along
And
here.
right after this, in full transparency, the individuals that were searching.
Hold on, I just gotta move up a little bit.
Interesting.
When you went home, tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
Yeah.
And just so
Hold on.
that they looked at that stuff.
Yeah.
They
found out.
Okay, hold on.
content, etc., and also like surveillance cameras and things like that. And I think that's interesting if the idea is it's a random abductor, right? It's kind of interesting. I mean, I assume you're aware, Chris, that it's out, that it's public knowledge that they looked at that stuff.
Yeah. They found out that. Yeah.
Right. That's interesting too. Right.
Yeah.
Found nothing on surveillance cameras. I found nothing on. Because I don't think we know the results of computer devices and phones and things taken from family, do we? I don't think that's been reported. But they have. But according to what I read, they were taken and examined and documented. Well, that's interesting. So do you know when we'll find out if there was anything on there?
No, we don't
value?
know. Okay, hold on.
Why I'm asking, I heard it. Right.
Yeah, so I thought that was a.
Okay, hold on.
We went and grabbed the boys from the house. And I was just getting 4 months ago.
I gotta find the spot. I thought I had it.
We don't go to my house because we stored up my mom's groceries from her house.
Okay.
We always do.
Yeah.
And we did that, and Mom walked back across, and me and Summer were putting groceries away, and watching TV off and on, and just chilling with the boys, hanging out, and then we decided to do some laundry. Cause laundry, my kids, they got 80 pairs of pants, 80 pairs, each one of them.
Okay.
So, doing laundry at my house is like
A job,
it's
right,
a job.
right. Do you have a bulldozer?
No. Sometimes I wish I did.
Okay.
That's just joking.
Okay, I thought it was there. It's not.
Well, we know the boys ain't gonna help. He's gonna didn't care for those. And she was, Mom, I want to go back to the house with my brothers. I was like, ah. And she walked in there, and there's a scat.
One of the interesting things there, she adds a timeline at 30 to 45 minutes into the laundry detail, right?
Right. Which
And
comes
then
before right, yeah.
Right, and then she adds another 10 whatever is 15 minutes, so that's like 55 minutes that she's at least projecting here that she's at the house. Summer, wants to come out, play, pick up flowers with her and or grandma, and she's there just kind of, I guess, watching it, allegedly. Then at that point, Summer decides, Mom, I want to go back into the house and play with my brothers. And so she decides, well, I guess I'll escort her to the house. So what are you thinking when you hear? I'm not buying it.
I could tell that you don't buy it. I thought there was a very interesting little accidental moment.
Right.
And it's very, very interesting, but of course we can't tell.
Okay.
But you look at that house.
The majority of it weeds.
Stick to it. Kind of
Yeah,
thing. But you can tell that you don't believe
a specific time frame, which to your point
This
earlier,
time frame, listen.
okay, she says, oh yeah, 30 to 45 minutes we did the laundry, and yet when I say we're talking about how long was the child out of your sight, she goes, I don't know, I'm not a time person. Okay,
right.
so that's kind of like,
well, she's right. I was thinking that earlier, that there was a contradiction in going out of your way to say I'm not a time person, but then obsessively accounting for minutes as if you're sitting there with a with a stopwatch in your head.
exactly.
Going, it took 31 minutes to do this and 15 minutes to do that. It almost sounds like somebody said, memorize this. And if anybody asks you to give this information, here's what you said, And doesn't it come across that way to you?
Very scripted. I have felt that the story was scripted, and grandmother, kind of comfort. Well, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Mm.
It's definitely not a stranger, in my opinion. Okay.
And next thing I know, I said, Mom, I'm going back home with the kids, chill and hang out, whatever. And I freaking asked her, boys, where'd your sister go?
Tell you every moment exactly where I was standing and all of that. And in this case, I was kind of measuring that against my own experience. Okay?
Yeah.
And when she made that comment, I thought, okay, there's a flag here, a red
Right
flag.
here. Right here.
Oh, she wanted to go play with the toys downstairs, Mom.
Listen to what Dr. Gary says.
That's where our room is, that's where her toys are.
Okay.
And after about a second, I didn't hear nothing down there. I was like, you sure she went downstairs? They're like, yeah, Mom, she went downstairs.
Okay.
And my boys do not like going around because my stairs, my husband calls it a bar, but it's not really a bar. I call it a mess. We go through the staircase.
He's gonna say something here.
And he also is down in the.
I thought it was there. Sorry.
Take the purple.
Oh, right here. About the phones. Okay, listen.
Emotional reaction, and you immediately cold, and there's a trace of it, right? That kind of thing.
Hold on. Dang it. Back it up just
Ran over the wrong. Take the purple, which is the only.
Now, see, that's never made sense to me.
right here.
She
Listen.
calls her husband on a very good phone, then throws it away and takes her mom's phone to call 911.
Right, but remember what I said earlier? If one is considering the possibility of a cover story, things that have timestamps are very important. So in a story like that, you're always going to say, I called at this time, and then because the person has the sense that that's going to make the story seem more true, that you had an emotional reaction and you immediately called, and there's a trace of it, right? That kind of thing. So that people always go out of their way in these stories to say that, and then I picked up this phone, and then I called, and but explain. I think the point you just made is very important. So explain to the audience a little. I know what you mean, but tell the audience what you mean about why that didn't make sense.
Well, because, one, if later on, which by the way, it ended up happening, the description of, well, the phone wasn't working, so I had to use another phone. And, well, so right now there's, in this particular narrative, there's the ability to say, well, I threw that phone away, and so that could have been the one that the cops wanted. And, so she's just narrated into the story the one that she hasn't turned over to the police at that particular point, which she related to us earlier on. That could have been the one.
Right, it's a little conspicuous.
Yes. Yeah, I like the way. So we've got a lot of questions.
Okay. So you guys, I just want to talk about this for a minute. I'm going to go back out here in the kitchen. I think that's what they did. I think that's what Candace and Don did all along. Is that everything? Well, Candace did, for sure. There's timestamps, and even Don, he goes through his time and he's like, well, I did this, and it was this time, and Candace stayed on the phone with me the whole time, and I got 7 alibis, and Candace has got none, and she's going down. First of all, why would any husband say that about his wife, but yet turn around and tell us that she's a good wife, a good mother, but in the next breath, he, said that crap. When he was drunk, yes, of course. But what I'm saying is, Candace did videotapes. Okay, first she got Summer at the water. This is what she put it in a sequence. She started putting pictures on Facebook instantly when Summer went missing. Now she tries to tell us that she made the phone call at 6:30 that Summer went missing, right? But I was following this case from day one, and I was on Facebook, and she was posting stuff. I was seeing stuff. Some of her stuff was at 6:09. Pictures of Summer. She's got that video of her swimming, and then they got a video of her in the back seat with the milk jugs. I mean, the whole thing, you guys, they got it all planned out. You know, they had it planned out, the times and everything. And I don't care what they're saying to us. I don't care how they act anymore. We know, you guys, we know that Don and Candace did something to Summer. I do not know what they did. I have no idea. For one, I heard somebody say that CPS, supposedly was there the day before, and they closed, and Don said they closed the case. CPS does not come to your house to tell you that they closed the case. Are you kidding me? They're going to send a letter in the mail. They're not going to come out to your house to say, oh, we closed the case. No, I think Don lies, and I think it's the opposite of what he said. They opened a case, and they said, we're coming back here to get Summer. If you don't do this, or you don't do that, or you don't take her to the doctor, or you don't do this, how much you want to bet, you guys? I'll bet anybody money that that's what happened. And he's making it sound like, oh, the protective service worker just found everything so wonderful, and that the kids were climbing on the roof. How weird, right? Chris and Dr. Gary there, oh, by the way, you guys, he wrote a book, and I think you should check him out. And he seems like a really great guy, don't he? And he makes a lot of sense, and I appreciate Chris for having him on. But you guys, I was just going to tell you something. I lost my train of thought. I don't know. They plan this. And remember, Don told someone, I don't remember who it was, one of the creators, that there was no cameras on the road he took home. Isn't that weird that you would say something like that? And that's what Dr. Gary just said. There was cameras on this road, and this one can track me, and I was here at such and such a time, and we went to Priceless, and we did this. Oh, I know what it was. So, they wanted to know. Chris and Gary were like, I wonder what these pretty flowers mean. These pretty flowers, why she keep saying that? I want to remind everyone, I told you guys, if you didn't watch it, I said it in a video before. Candace, one of these people said that Candace got mad at Summer because she ripped the flowers out of the pots or garden. And Candace got so mad that Summer did that, and she beat her and put her down in that basement, and Summer was crying. She locked her down there. Now, I'm telling you that maybe this flower story has something to do with this, because maybe it's not that they planted pretty flowers. Maybe it's that flowers do have something to do with it, and Summer got into her flowers and something bad happened. Candace and Don both have a temper. You're not going to tell me that they don't. And the only other strange person, the only other new person that was in the area of Summer Wells that day was Jackie Dobbs. That's the only stranger. Everybody else had lived there all this time, and they didn't bother Summer. But, Jackie Dobbs could have been watching Summer because he was over there doing work. But that's the only stranger that I could think that would even make this abduction even remotely possible. But I don't think so. I think Don and Candace did this all the way. I mean, it's a possibility, you guys. There's a possibility that that could have happened. And I wish somebody would go over by that motel, and I wish somebody would go talk to the person at the motel and ask them if Jackie Dobbs, if they seen him or if they seen Summer that day. I wish they'd look around by that motel in that area. But anyways, yeah. It's just really strange, you guys, that Don and Candace, you know, she said that she was right on Facebook the whole entire time. I mean, she might have drove around, but she didn't drive around very long because she was on Facebook posting pictures nonstop. You can follow the time frame on that. And so you can go back and look where she started posting. I don't know if you can still find all that stuff and even on, but I think she took her TikTok videos down. I don't know. But, you know, Jody Sue has come out and said stuff. And, you know, if it's true, why didn't she report that to the police? You know, I'm not trying to say that anything bad about Jody Sue, because I don't see nothing wrong with her, really. But the fact is that if all these things were true, if Don was smacking Summer and Candace and they were giving her drugs, but why wouldn't she report this? And what, you know, did she tell this to the police early on? I don't think so. And, but, you know, you guys, Don and Candace did something to Summer. And I want to know what they did. And I don't know who we got to contact. But I want to see some movement in this case, because I truly believe that Don and Candace did this to their daughter. And don't you find it strange that Robin Lane... that's another thing that kind of proves to me that they were, you know, covering their tracks and they were getting a time frame down, because, you know, they called Robin right away. Those were the people they called. Why would they call Robin? To me, they called Robin to make themselves look good, like good Christian people. And they wanted to look good in her eyes because, you know, I'm sorry, you guys, you'd be calling your friends, you'd be calling somebody you're close to. She wasn't even that close to Robin. I mean, she knows her, but it's just really strange that she was calling and calling and calling Robin nonstop, and it makes you wonder, is Robin involved? Were they making this deal? It's just strange. But it also made it sound, when Robin was in her interview and she was talking about Summer missing a while ago, she said, you know, I didn't believe it. And she said, you know, like, we didn't believe it at first, you know. Did she really go, you know, get lost this time or something like that? It sounded like that, you guys. And it made me wonder if Robin knows that Summer has gone missing before. And maybe Candace forgot about her. I don't know. It's a possibility that they took her somewhere to hide her out. It's a possibility. I don't see anybody risking their life for that. You know what I mean? Somebody would spot you. Somebody would see something. If Don and Candace had her hid out. No, I think they did something worse. Much worse. And, you know, that's why they didn't grieve. That's why they didn't do anything. Or they didn't really go searching for her or hanging up flyers. And you know why. Because they already knew she was gone. And Don already said, I'll see her in the resurrection. And that's why it's easy for them to move on because they already know what happened to their daughter. And it makes me really mad that the police have not arrested them yet. I mean, really, it's upsetting. Look at my snowman up there, my little Christmas tree. And oh, I wanted to show you I got a little red tree over here. Some Santas. It's kind of dark over there. Well, my husband's sleeping and stuff, but you guys, I think that's exactly what Dr. Gary said. They made sure that they're covered. Don Wells, and I could not believe Tiffany Marie. I didn't watch her video, just like I went there for a second just to see what she was saying, because I was just so mad about it, because how dare you? How dare you say the things? You know, Chris is friends with Mary and Jeannie, and you think you're cool, Tiffany Marie, to go and bash victims and bash Chris. I mean, you act like you're there for victims, but you're not there for victims. You guys, I was in a chat like I was in somebody's live. I don't remember whose. I think it was, was it Benny Keys or was it, I don't remember. Because I was listening to see what they have to say. Listen, I check everybody's channel because I want to know what people got to say about Summer Wells and if there is anything going on. But anyways, Tiffany Marie was in there, and some lady goes, yeah, my daughter died or something like that. And Tiffany goes, this isn't about you right now. Why are you trying to make this about you? Why are you trying to distract? And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious right now that you could talk to somebody who lost somebody like that? That's horrible. And she was just very snotty, arguing with her in the chat. But no, I'll listen, but doesn't mean I'll watch all the way, because sometimes because if it's something that's just foolishness, and you guys know that Benny is often foolish, and so is Tiffany Marie, and she thinks she's the queen of YouTube, and she knows everything, but she really irritates me that she thinks she knows about these victims. And Mary and Jeannie are grown women. They made their own choices. They came out and told the police what happened to them. Jeannie called the police because she was worried, the TBI, because this kind of stuff happened to her entire life, basically, as a young girl, young woman, throughout her teen years. And when she was 5, Don was SAing her. And when Summer came up missing, and she heard this on the news and everything, she called TBI and told them that she had concerns. Because look what happened to her. What if that was part of this case? And she didn't ask him to go arrest him or do anything like that. But eventually, they were going to they are pressing charges against Don. I don't know if the statute of limitations is really up. Why would the police go talk to him? It could still be in the background. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. I don't care. I want him to get in trouble for what happened to Summer Wells and Jeannie and Mary and all of them. And I want to see him sitting in prison, because that is what's going to happen. And him and Tim Mullen can preach it up and say all this bull crap, and Robin manipulating, putting stuff out about the boys, trying to get them to watch YouTube or feel sorry or whatever, to get them to want to come home. That is interfering in their life, and that is going against the gag order anyways. You're not supposed to be discussing things. You're not supposed to be exposing those boys like that. Nobody else has. I never have exposed them boys and put their pictures on there and said, oh, boys, blah, 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 you know, and make their video kid friendly so that kids will see it. But hopefully the foster parents are wise enough, or the adopted parents, and they don't, you know, encourage them to do that. I don't know. I mean, you can't stop kids all the way from seeing stuff that they want to see on YouTube. But I do really believe that those boys are afraid and they will not talk until the court has done completely remove them. And I think that's why Robin and Tim are trying so hard, trying to get this push through that maybe they can, you know, adopt them boys. Who knows? You know, Robin in that church over there, boy, they got that adopted thing going on, and it's weird, right? It's weird. It's weird that Robin crossed off the red truck on all the flyers, and because she had a red truck, but not just, she said it was because the police weren't worried about the red truck. It wasn't important anymore, so she crossed off all the flyers. Why are you trying to interfere in this case, Robin? I mean, they got a lot of really shady stuff, I think, in that church. And I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to believe that Robin would go along with something like this and risk going to prison, you know, for doing whatever. But, hey, people do things like this all the time. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but, you know, if you remembered it or ever kept up on this stuff, but Hillary Clinton, her worker that was with her, one of her workers, her and a bunch of church people went over to, oh geez, let me think here. Now I lost it. Haiti. When the destruction went on over there and the flooding and all that stuff, they went over there, Haiti, Hillary, but one of her buddies took a church group over there and she got arrested for trying to steal kids out of Haiti. And that's a big trafficking port over there. And I'm just saying that people in churches, you know, you can't trust everybody. Some churches are very weird and corrupt and have nothing to do with God. I mean, they pretend like they know God, like Don does, but that really do bad things, you know what I mean? And they're into bad things. And a lot of these places that say they're helping these people over there, they're really taking the money and they're hurting kids anyways. But I'm just saying, Robin is very shady to me because of the way she acts. I don't know if she's really done anything wrong or anything like that, but she's shady to me. But Don, of course, is very shady to me, and so is Candace. And I think they've lied all along, you guys. I think I've told you guys before in my videos that I believe that they lied to us from the beginning. And I don't even know if Summer Wells was home that day, if she came back home, or you know what. I don't know. But I've said it all along, and I'll say it again. Don and Candace Wells, where's your daughter? Because you guys did something. And you better come out and talk. And if anybody knows something, they need to come out and talk. It's upsetting. I'll show you my little trees and stuff over here. I'm going around the house showing y'all my little lights. I love them. I love the little lights. And I love the Christmas trees. But yeah, I just thought, well, I'll take you around for a little bit and let you see some my lights. But yeah, you guys, I'm hoping that that's why this pressure that's bothering Don and Candace, well, especially Don, and why Robin and Tim are ramping up doing this stuff. I think it's because it's that close. Well, can you believe it? It's going to be Thanksgiving this weekend, coming weekend, and then Christmas, and Don and Candace go to court in January, supposedly. And I think they're going to remove them kids from them, and then we might see some activity in their case. I'm hoping TBI comes after them full force. I hope they do have some things that they're just not saying yet. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that someone will tell them something that they know, because it's really, really getting bad. But every day I see cases that are being solved after, there was one from TBI not that long ago that's been, solved after so many years. So Don and Candace, it don't matter. You're not going to get away with it for very long. And you're constantly going to be watching your back because of the police after you. You're constantly going to be worried about slipping up, breaking the law in some way. You're going to be worried about those things. And we know you were drunk, Don, when you were fighting. You were so drunk when you were threatening Josh at the lab, which was terrible, and Mary. And I think you should have been in jail for that. And you're on probation, and I don't think you should be able to talk like that to people. So, and I'm sure if Josh really wanted to pursue it, or Mary, they could really pursue it. And he could get in trouble, but that's all right. Some people get in trouble all on their own without any help. And I think it's boiling up. I think it's coming down to it. Don does not look good. He looks like a freak. I mean, with that hairdo. And I don't think neither one of them look good. And I don't know why Candace keeps dyeing her hair, and it looks like Don's dyeing his hair. And I think that really is so that they can say, when they go for drug testing, they think they're trying to cover up crap. Who knows, right? Because they're both lying. They're lying, and their little girl needs to be found. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. She's still missing out of Rogersville, Tennessee. If you know anything, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. I just want to tell everybody that I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you get together with your friends and your family, and you just remember that it's a time to be thankful for all our blessings. You go watch other people around the world. Some people don't even have a house to live in. And some people are going through war right now. And it's just sad, a lot of things that are happening in the world. So count your blessings, really, because God is good to us. And we have a lot compared to some folks, okay? And I know I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I know my family will be here for Thanksgiving, and we'll be having a good time and a nice fellowship together and good food. So, but I love all of you guys, and I want you to know I'm thinking of you. And yeah, I think Don and Candace have used their little stories and their little time frame and all this crap in their videos to try to make themselves look like they are not guilty, but they are guilty. And Candace constantly makes herself look like she's the mom. She did everything right. Uh-huh. We know she was trashed about 5:30 that night. She gets trashed every night at about 5:30. And it's really weird because early on, Don said that summer he really swears up and down that it was 5:30. when Candace called him. So that would mean that Summer went missing earlier and that she didn't call the police until 6:30. And I think 5:30 means something to him. And we've heard before that Candace starts drinking. That's her whiskey hour, 5:30. And she starts getting drunk. And Grandma got some pills that day. And we also heard that Candace wanted pills from her mother. When she got money in the mail from one of these supporters on YouTube, somebody sent her mail because Kathy talked about it. I believe it was Kathy. One of them talked about it, and she wanted pills from her mother that day that they went to the emergency room. And I really don't think Grandma was there, Grandis was there that much with her that day. Who knows, maybe. But if she went to the emergency room, this was during COVID time. And remember how the hospitals were during COVID, and only one person could go in there, and you had to be masked up. And it's just really strange that they would be, I don't know, going out. I just found it weird. So there's a whole bunch wrong with the story of Summer Wells. And if you're new to her case and you're new to hearing that, you need to go back and watch a lot of these YouTube creators, because the parents have really made a fool of themselves, and they've really shown themselves to be guilty. And I could possibly think that it's another, like an abductor. But, I can't, because Don and Candace have gone on YouTube too much, and they have already said way too much, and I don't believe them at all. So anyways, thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for your comments. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. God bless you. And I'm going to get off of here, all right? And I'll be on in a few days. I'll try this week. All right. Good night, you guys. Bye.